Ladies and gentlemen, the noise of opinions, the clamor of expectations, the chatter of comparison, it can drown out the voice of your destiny. Listen closely. When you focus on yourself and stay silent, you unlock the life that has been waiting for you. Silence is not weakness. Silence is power. Silence is the pause before the breakthrough. How many times have you spoken too soon, acted too hastily, or allowed someone else's agenda to dictate your rhythm? Too many, I promise you. The world will rush to be heard. Your destiny only responds to your preparedness, your patience, and your persistence. Focusing on yourself means more than self-improvement. It means discipline, reflection, and intentionality. It means you stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. It means you prioritize your growth over gossip, your vision over validation, your peace over pandemonium. When you stay silent, you are not absent. You are strategically positioning yourself. You are allowing God, the universe, your inner wisdom, call it what you will, to work in the background. Greatness is not shouted, it is cultivated. And when the time comes to speak your words, your results, your very presence will command attention. Many fail because they talk too much about what they are going to do instead of quietly doing it. They broadcast their plans before their purpose is ready. But those who focus and stay silent move like rivers carving valleys unseen, unstoppable, unshakable. Do not underestimate the power of your own life in motion without noise. People will notice the absence of your chatter. They will notice the strength behind your calm. They will notice the results when your time comes. Because the quiet, focused life is not idle. It is fertile ground for transformation. Stop arguing with the noise. Stop seeking approval from every passerby. Stop explaining your journey before it unfolds. Focus on yourself, stay silent, and watch how life miraculously, powerfully, and unavoidably changes. Silence is strength. I know the world tells you otherwise. The world says, speak up, make noise, defend yourself, be seen, be heard, or else you'll be forgotten. But I tell you, there is a power in quietness that the loudest voice cannot touch. There is an invisible force in restraint, a hidden weapon in stillness, a secret advantage in being silent when the world demands you shout. Think about it for a moment. How often have people rushed to argue, rushed to prove themselves, rushed to justify their decisions, only to find themselves exhausted, frustrated? Unnoticed, the noise does not equal progress. The talking does not equal transformation. But silence, oh silence, is the pause where strength is cultivated. Quiet, where ideas take root, where strategy forms, where wisdom grows without interference. Silence is not the absence of action. No, it is not idleness. Silence is intentional restraint. It is the conscious choice to stop reacting to every insult, every distraction, every criticism that comes your way. It is the understanding that every word we release has weight and every reaction carries consequences. The person who understands this knows that speaking too soon, reacting too quickly, and explaining too much often dilutes power and weakens position. Let me tell you something, the strongest people I have known now are the ones who speak less and act more. They do not feel the need to broadcast their every thought, every plan, their every dream. They do not live for approval. They live for purpose. And in that quiet focus, life bends toward them. Doors open. Opportunities appear. Connections are made not because they shouted the loudest, but because they prepared the longest. They acted when the moment was right. Silence is strength because it gives you space to think clearly. When you are quiet, you can hear the whispers of intuition, the subtle hints of opportunity, the warnings that others miss in the noise of the world. In the stillness, you can examine your heart, your intentions, and your goals. You can separate your dreams from the opinions of others, your vision from the expectations of the crowd. In silence, you find clarity. And clarity, my friends, is power. Do not underestimate the strength of listening instead of speaking. A person who listens gains knowledge. A person who observes gains insight. A person who waits gains advantage. People who cannot remain silent often miss the lessons hidden in life's quiet moments. They miss the timing of opportunity. They miss the subtle guidance of mentors, and they often give their power away by speaking when silence would have served them better. Strength is also cultivated in silence because it protects you from unnecessary conflict. How many times have we seen people destroyed? not by their enemies. By their own mouths, words spoken in haste, reactions born of emotion, explanations offered to justify, all these can weaken the strongest person. Silence shields you. Silence preserves you. Silence allows you to conserve energy, to guard your peace, to prepare for the moment when action, not words, is required. Silence is strength because it is strategic. The world can see the loud, the aggressive, the reactive, and they think those people are in control. But true control, true mastery is found in stillness. It is found in knowing when to speak and when to hold your tongue. It is found in understanding that life rewards preparation more than performance, wisdom more than noise, and patience more than impulse. Consider this: rivers carve valleys not because of loud roars, but because of patient, persistent, steady flow. Mountains are shaped not by shouting storms, but by centuries of quiet erosion. Strength grows in silence over time, accumulating, deepening, becoming unstoppable. Your life, your purpose, your destiny, it moves in the same way. The quiet, deliberate efforts, the hidden preparation, discipline, restraint, all of this is what builds unshakable strength. Silence is also strength because it magnifies your presence. There is a power in absence, a respect that comes when you do not compete for attention. People notice the calm, the dignity, the reserved confidence. When you speak less and do more, the results speak for you. When you walk through a room quietly but with authority, people pay attention. When you do not seek validation from the crowd, your approval comes from within, and that makes you unassailable. Furthermore, silence allows for spiritual alignment. In quietness, you can hear the voice of God, the universe, or your inner wisdom. The world is loud, yes. God speaks in whispers, not shouts. Strength comes from aligning with that higher guidance, not from chasing approval or recognition. In the silence of prayer, reflection, and contemplation, you gain the insight to navigate life's storms, the courage to face challenges, and the wisdom to act at the right time. I challenge you to take control of your words. I challenge you to resist the urge to explain yourself to everyone, to justify your choices, or to compete in the noisy arena of opinions. I challenge you to focus on preparation over proclamation, results over rhetoric, action over argument. When you do this, you will discover the incredible, almost magical power of silent strength. And remember, silence is not forever. It is purposeful. It is not passive. It is active in its patience. There will come a time when the results of your quiet preparation demand to be seen, heard, felt. When that time comes, your impact will be greater than if you had shouted all along. Because the world never forgets the power that emerges from stillness, patience, and focused intent. So, my friends, I leave you with this truth today. Do not fear silence. Do not despise stillness. Do not confuse quiet with weakness. In silence, you are growing. In silence, you are preparing. In silence, you are becoming strong beyond measure. When the world pushes you to speak, respond with action. When the world tempts you to react, respond with wisdom. The world demands attention, respond with results. Focus on your growth, not your competition, not your critics, not the chaos outside. Focus on your growth. Growth is the currency of progress. Growth is the engine of your destiny. Growth is the ladder that elevates you above the noise, above the distraction, above the confusion of the world. Too many people waste their time looking at others, watching what they have, what they say, how they live, measuring their own worth against the reflection of someone else's life. But let me tell you the truth, comparison is the enemy of growth. When you measure yourself against another person's journey, you lose focus on your own. You get distracted from your calling, your purpose, your progress. Every minute spent looking at someone else is a minute lost in growing yourself. Focusing on your growth means turning your eyes inward, not outward. It means asking yourself the hard questions. Am I becoming better today than I was yesterday? Am I learning, stretching, evolving? I'm pushing beyond my comfort zone. Growth is not convenient. Growth is not comfortable. Growth demands that you step into discomfort, that you embrace challenges, that you endure the friction of change. But here is the beautiful truth. Every struggle, every failure, every difficulty you face is a tool for your growth. Do not run from challenges. Do not resist change. Do not fear failure. These are the very instruments that shape your character, sharpen your wisdom, and fortify your resilience. Growth happens when you face your weaknesses head on. Growth happens when you refuse to settle for mediocrity. Growth happens when you acknowledge that every experience, good or bad, is an opportunity to become more than you were yesterday. Focus on your growth also means investing in yourself. Invest in your mind. Read books that challenge you. Listen to people who inspire you. Seek knowledge that equips you for your purpose. Invest in your body. Take care of your health. Exercise discipline. Nourish yourself. Growth is holistic. It is mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. You cannot grow in one area while neglecting the others and expect to thrive. And listen to me carefully, growth requires patience. Growth does not happen overnight. You cannot plant a seed today and demand a harvest tomorrow. Growth is a process, a journey, a daily commitment to improvement. The world will pressure you for instant results, quick validation, and immediate recognition. But your growth is sacred and it cannot be rushed. Trust the process. Trust your journey. Focus on the incremental steps because each step compounds into extraordinary transformation. Focusing on your growth also means setting boundaries. You cannot grow if you are constantly pulled into the chaos, the drama, and the distractions of other people's lives. Growth requires protection. Protect your time. Protect your energy. Protect your peace. Say no to what does not serve your purpose. Say no to toxic relationships. Say no to activities that drain you without contributing to your growth. Every no is a yes to your progress. Every boundary is a declaration that your growth is non-negotiable. Growth is strengthened by reflection. You cannot improve if you do not pause and evaluate. Take time to reflect on your decisions, your actions, your results. Learn from your mistakes. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small. Growth is not just about reaching new heights. It is about understanding the lessons that the journey teaches you along the way. Without reflection, you risk repeating the same mistakes and stalling your own progress. Let me be clear, focusing on your growth does not mean isolation. Growth can be nurtured through mentorship, through relationships with people who challenge you, who inspire you, who hold you accountable. Surround yourself with those who push you to be better, not those who drag you down. Growth thrives in an environment that encourages learning, resilience, vision. Avoid the negativity that stifles progress. Seek the company that elevates your mind, heart, and spirit. Focusing on your growth also requires courage. Growth often means stepping into the unknown. It means taking risks that others shy away from. It means believing in your potential even when the world doubts you. Many fail not because they lack talent, because they lack courage, the courage to leave the familiar, the courage to endure criticism, the courage to keep moving when the path is uncertain. Growth and courage go hand in hand. You cannot have one without the other. Friends, let me remind you, growth is not a competition. It is a journey, personal and unique to you. You are not in a race with anyone else. Every person has a different timeline, a different path, a different set of challenges. Focusing on your growth means tuning out the noise of comparison, ignoring the impatience of the crowd, dedicating yourself to becoming the best version of you. There will be times when it feels slow. There will be times when it feels lonely. There will be times when the world questions your choices, mocks your process, or underestimates your potential. Do not be discouraged. Do not be distracted. Every seed you plant in focus, every effort you make in discipline, every moment you invest in yourself is building the foundation for the life you are meant to live. Growth is unseen at first, but the results are unstoppable. Focusing on your growth transforms not only your life, but the lives of those around you. As you grow, you gain the ability to influence, inspire, and impact others. Growth gives you wisdom to lead, strength to endure, and insight to guide. When you dedicate yourself to becoming more, You elevate everyone around you. Your growth becomes a ripple effect, touching your family, your community, your world. So today, I challenge you, stop chasing distractions. Stop seeking validation from the outside world. Stop measuring yourself by other people's standards. Instead, focus on your growth. Invest in yourself, protect your journey, embrace challenges, learn from mistakes, step into discomfort, surround yourself with what elevates you, and above all, commit to becoming the best version of yourself every single day. Remember this truth: life will not wait for you. Time will not pause. Opportunities will not hold still. If you are not growing, you are stagnating. If you are not learning, you are falling behind. If you are not improving, you are giving your potential away. Focus on your growth relentlessly, tirelessly, passionately, and watch how your life transforms in ways you never imagined. Growth is not just a choice. Growth is a responsibility to yourself, to your future, and to the purpose you were born to fulfill. Do not take it lightly. Do not delay it. Start today, continue tomorrow, persevere through the setbacks, and celebrate every step forward. Because when you focus on your growth, there is no limit to what you can become, no ceiling to the life you can live, and no power in the world that can stop the transformation that is taking place within you. Focus on your growth. Invest in your mind, your heart, your spirit, your body. Protect your time. Embrace discomfort. Learn relentlessly. Surround yourself with what elevates you. Commit daily. And I promise you this: your life will never be the same again. There is a power in restraint. There is a force in silence. There is an authority in timing. And one of the greatest mistakes a person can make in life is to reveal their plans, their dreams, or their purpose too soon. Avoid premature disclosure, because the world is full of distractions, full of naysayers, full of people who will try to derail what is meant for you. Too often, we rush to share what we are building. We tell everyone our dreams, our strategies, our next steps. We talk about what we will do, what we will become, who we will serve, and how we will succeed. And in doing so, we give away our power. Because not everyone is meant to be a part of our journey. Everyone is meant to celebrate our victories. Some are meant to observe, some are meant to challenge, and some are meant to steal the vision from us if we are careless. Avoiding premature disclosure is not about secrecy. It is not about hiding. It is about strategic patience. It is about understanding that timing is as important as action. There is a season for preparation. There is a season for execution. And there is a season for revelation. Too many people confuse these seasons. They reveal before the time is right. The world is not ready to receive what they have to offer. Or worse, they are not ready themselves. Think about it. If you tell the world every idea the moment it comes to your mind, how many of those ideas will survive? How many will grow? How many will manifest the way they were intended? Ideas, plans, and visions are fragile. They are seeds, and seeds need soil, water, sunlight, and care. They cannot survive if exposed to harsh winds too early. Premature disclosure is like planting your seeds in the storm. It scatters them before they take root. Your harvest is diminished. Premature disclosure also exposes you to unnecessary criticism. The world is full of voices ready to doubt, to discourage, to belittle. If you announce your plans before they are fully formed, before you are ready, the criticism can derail your momentum. If people will tell you it cannot be done, people will tell you to settle. People will attempt to plant fear where you should plant faith. Avoid the temptation to justify, to defend, to announce too soon. Let your work speak when it is ready, and your results will silence every doubt. There is also power in observation. When you avoid premature disclosure, you give yourself the chance to watch, learn, and adjust. You can study the environment, anticipate challenges, and refine your strategy. Many fail because they act publicly before they have acted privately. They rush into battles they are not ready to fight. They reveal victories they have not yet achieved. Those who master the art of timing and discretion move like rivers under ice, unseen, unstoppable, and inevitable. Avoiding premature disclosure also protects your energy. Every time you reveal too soon, you invite distraction. You invite interference. You invite unnecessary debate and discussion. And every minute you spend explaining, defending, or persuading is a minute stolen from your progress. Time is the one resource that cannot be recovered. Guard it fiercely, invest it wisely, avoid premature disclosure, and your energy is preserved for the work that actually produces results. Consider this some of the most powerful people in history, the most influential leaders, the most successful entrepreneurs. They understood the principle of strategic silence. They did not announce every move. They did not advertise every idea. They prepared quietly, built quietly, and when the moment was right, they revealed their results. The world could not ignore them. The impact of your actions will always speak louder than your words. Allow your results to do the talking. Avoid premature disclosure because it maintains the element of surprise. Life is a battlefield, and success is often won not by force alone, but by timing, strategy, and execution. If you reveal too early, you give away the advantage. If you announce too soon, you allow others to copy, to sabotage, to interfere. When you wait, when you prepare, when you act in silence, you hold power in your hands that the world cannot predict and cannot counter. Moreover, avoiding premature disclosure strengthens your character. It builds discipline, patience, and discernment. It teaches you to trust the process and trust yourself. So many people fail not because they lack vision, but because they lack restraint. They are impulsive with their words and their actions. But those who master the art of timing, who understand the value of silence, develop an inner authority that commands respect. People take them seriously because they speak and act from a place of purpose, not impulse. Let me warn you, there will always be pressure to reveal. Friends, family, colleagues, even social media will push you to announce, to explain, to showcase your journey before it is ready. Do not succumb to that pressure. Do not trade your peace for applause. Do not trade your preparation for praise. Stay focused, stay patient, stay silent until your time arrives. Timing is destiny and patience is power. Avoiding premature disclosure also allows your work to mature. Ideas, skills, plans all need time to develop. The vision in your heart is only as strong as the preparation behind it. When you rush to tell the world, you shortchange the process. When you act publicly before acting privately, you invite unnecessary obstacles. But when you prepare in silence, your vision gains depth, your strategies sharpen, and your execution becomes unstoppable. Finally, avoid premature disclosure because it teaches humility. You learn that life is not about validation. Life is not about recognition. Life is about impact. It is about results. It is about fulfilling the purpose for which you were created. Those who share too early often seek approval from the crowd. Those who wait, who prepare, act in silence, seek fulfillment from progress, and their reward is greater than applause. It is lasting significance. So, my friends, hear me today. Guard your dreams, protect your plans, hold your vision close, avoid premature disclosure, invest in preparation, move quietly but purposefully. Let your results speak. Let your work shine. Let your life reveal the greatness that is already within you. The world does not need to know everything you are doing. The world does not need to witness every step. What the world will notice is your success when it arrives, and success, my friends, is loud enough on its own. Friends, hear me today. Discipline is the engine that propels you forward. It is not talent. It is not luck. It is not charm. Discipline creates momentum. Momentum is what turns dreams into reality, plans into results, and vision into destiny. Without discipline, potential remains dormant. Without discipline, good intentions die in the shadows. Without discipline, greatness is delayed or denied. Too many people live in hope rather than habit. They pray for success but refuse to do the work. They dream of breakthrough but complain about consistency. They ask for momentum but resist discipline. Let me tell you something, the two are inseparable. Discipline is the seed. Momentum is the harvest. You cannot have one without the other. And the world does not reward wishful thinking. It rewards action executed with steadfast commitment. Discipline is the quiet power behind every achievement you admire. The athlete who dominates the field did not get there by talent alone. He showed up every day, trained in the silence, endured the sweat, the pain, the repetition. The entrepreneur who built an empire did not rise overnight. She invested daily in learning, refining, and persevering. The artist, the leader, the innovator, they all share one thing in common. They harness discipline to create unstoppable momentum. You see, discipline is not punishment. Discipline is not restriction. Discipline is freedom. Discipline is the structure that allows you to move faster, further, stronger than you ever could without it. When you develop habits, when you follow through on your commitments, when you resist the temptation to quit, you are building momentum. Momentum is the force that carries you past doubt, past fear, past obstacles. It is the invisible power that transforms small efforts into massive results over time. Let me illustrate this for you. Imagine rolling a heavy stone uphill. First, it is slow, it is difficult, it is exhausting. That first push seems almost impossible. That is the challenge of discipline. It requires effort before reward. But as you continue, push after push, repetition after repetition, something amazing happens. The stone begins to roll more easily. It picks up speed. It gains momentum. And once it starts, it moves with power beyond what your first push could achieve. This is the way discipline works in life. Discipline creates momentum because it builds consistency. You cannot expect lasting results if your effort is sporadic. You cannot expect breakthroughs if your focus wavers. Momentum is born from repetition, from the daily commitment to do what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. It is not glamorous. It is not flashy. It is often tedious, uncelebrated work. But it is this very work, the discipline in the shadows, that prepares you for visible success in the light. Friends, discipline is also about saying no to what does not serve your progress. Every yes to distraction, every compromise on your standards, every indulgence in convenience is a no to your momentum. The disciplined person learns to guard their time, guard their energy, and guard their focus. They understand that momentum is fragile. It must be nurtured, protected, and prioritized. One day of neglect, 1 hour of distraction, one impulse decision can slow or even derail the forward motion that discipline has built. Discipline creates momentum because it transforms small, ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes. It is the compound effect of daily choices, the early mornings, the extra effort, the practice, the study, refinement, the delayed gratification that accumulates into unstoppable force. Many fail because they underestimate small steps. They believe momentum is magical, sudden, or accidental, but momentum is earned, cultivated, and disciplined into existence. Consider this: when you act with discipline, even in times of uncertainty, the universe begins to respond. Momentum is a reward for consistency. Doors open that were previously closed. Opportunities appear that were previously invisible. Confidence grows that was previously fragile. You begin to move in a rhythm that others envy, a rhythm created not by chance, but by the deliberate exercise of discipline over time. Discipline is also about resisting shortcuts. The world tempts us with quick fixes, instant results, and easy victories. Shortcuts rarely lead to lasting success. Momentum built on discipline is enduring because it is earned. It withstands pressure, it survives setbacks, it grows stronger with each challenge. When you build your life on discipline, you are building a foundation that cannot be shaken by storms, criticism, failure. Momentum feeds on momentum. Once you establish the discipline to start, to keep going, to persist when it is uncomfortable, you create a chain reaction. Small victories compound into confidence. Confidence fuels action. Action produces results. Results generate visibility. Visibility attracts more opportunities. Momentum becomes self-sustaining, unstoppable, and transformative. And the beautiful thing is, the first step, the discipline to start, is always in your hands. Friends, remember, this discipline is a daily choice, not a one-time event. You do not become disciplined overnight. You do not gain momentum with a single effort. Every day, every decision, every commitment matters. The disciplined person wakes up and asks, what can I do today to move forward? Even if no one sees, even if it is hard, even if it is inconvenient. And when you answer that question consistently, momentum begins to build. And once momentum builds, life begins to shift. Challenges become manageable. Obstacles become temporary. The impossible begins to bend toward possibility. Discipline creates momentum because it builds character. It teaches patience, endurance, and resilience. It strengthens your will. It shapes your mind, trains your spirit. And when life tries to push you backward, you no longer wobble or falter because momentum carries you forward. You begin to move with a force that cannot be stopped by fear, doubt, or opposition. Let me challenge you today. Identify the areas of your life where discipline is lacking. Where are you inconsistent? Where are you giving in to temptation, procrastination, or distraction? Start today. Take one step. Do one thing consistently, and then another and another. Each step is a building block. Each action is a spark. Each moment of discipline adds to the momentum that will eventually transform your life. Discipline creates momentum, and momentum produces results that inspire, influence, and impact. Momentum allows you to overcome what once seemed impossible. Momentum is the bridge between intention and accomplishment, between vision and reality, between dreams and destiny. The question is, will you embrace discipline, commit to consistency, and allow momentum to carry you forward? Or will you remain idle, hoping for success without effort, wishing for progress without preparation? Friends, the choice is yours, but know this: discipline is the key. Discipline is the engine. Discipline creates momentum, and momentum, once established, power to transform your life, your family, your community, and even your legacy. So start today. Begin in faith, act in consistency. Trust that the momentum you build will carry you to places you never imagined. Friends, hear me today. Peace is power, and chaos is temporary. Too often, we allow the noise of the world to dictate the rhythm of our lives. We let every crisis, every distraction, every conflict pull us off balance. But the truth is, those who choose peace over pandemonium are the ones who truly move through life with strength, clarity, and purpose. Peace is not passive. Peace is not weakness. Peace is intentional mastery over your mind, your emotions, and your circumstances. It is the conscious decision to remain centered when the world is spinning out of control. Too many people confuse noise with urgency. They rush, they react, they argue, and in the process, they lose themselves. But you, my friend, are called to be different. You are called to rise above, to navigate storms with calm, to live in a state of focused tranquility even when chaos surrounds you. The world will try to shake you. It will demand your attention. It will challenge your patience. It will confront you with confusion, betrayal, and frustration. But here is the secret. You do not have to match the world's chaos with chaos. You do not have to argue every point, defend every decision, or fight every battle immediately. Person who chooses peace over pandemonium moves with power because they understand that calmness is not complacency. It is control. Peace over pandemonium is about perspective. It is about understanding that not every crisis requires your immediate reaction. Every insult requires your defense. Not every challenge requires panic. You must learn to step back, to breathe, to observe, and to respond with wisdom rather than emotion. Pandemonium is loud, but peace is strong. Pandemonium is fleeting, but peace endures. Pandemonium consumes energy. Peace preserves it. Consider this: a storm does not destroy the mountain. It tests it. A river does not drown the valley. It shapes it. Life's chaos does not defeat the disciplined mind. It strengthens it. When you choose peace over pandemonium, you are not ignoring reality. You are confronting it with clarity and composure. You are preparing yourself to act effectively rather than react impulsively. You are building resilience, and resilience is the secret to lasting success. Peace over pandemonium also protects your energy. How many times have we been drained by arguments we did not need to have, by drama we did not create, by distractions we did not anticipate? Energy is finite. It is the fuel for focus, productivity, and fulfillment. Every minute spent in chaos is a minute stolen from your potential. Every hour spent in conflict is a resource lost from your dreams. Peace is the safeguard of your energy. Peace allows you to prioritize, to concentrate, and to move with purpose. Let me tell you another truth: peace is contagious. When you remain calm in the midst of turmoil, others notice. When you refuse to be dragged into unnecessary arguments, others respect your composure. When you respond with calm authority instead of heated emotion, you inspire confidence and trust. Pandemonium may scream, but peace whispers with authority. Those who understand this principle realize that influence comes not from noise, but from steadiness. Choosing peace over pandemonium also gives you clarity in decision-making. When your mind is calm, your thoughts are organized. When your emotions are under control, your judgment is sound. Pandemonium clouds the mind, distorts perception, and leads to mistakes. Peace, on the other hand, illuminates the path, reveals solutions, and allows you to act decisively. The great leaders, the successful entrepreneurs, the wise mentors, they do not move in haste. They move in peace, and that is why their results are extraordinary. Friends, peace over pandemonium is also about internal alignment. It is about mastering your inner world before trying to control the outer world. Too many people seek peace externally. They wait for circumstances to calm down, for people to change, for chaos to disappear. But true peace begins within. It begins when you commit to mastering your emotions, cultivating patience, and focusing on what you can control. External chaos may persist. Internal peace gives you the stability to navigate it successfully. There will be moments when the world will test your patience. There will be times when circumstances push every button in your life. There will be days when it feels like everything is falling apart. But remember, peace is a choice, not a condition. You do not wait for calm, you create it within yourself. You do not hope for understanding, you cultivate it in your mind and heart. You do not flee from difficulties, you confront them with steadiness, faith, and focus. Choosing peace over pandemonium also allows you to build stronger relationships. Chaos breeds conflict, suspicion, and misunderstanding. Calmness nurtures communication, empathy, and trust. When you approach people from a place of peace, you create space for dialogue instead of argument, cooperation instead of confrontation, and solutions instead of problems. Peace becomes a magnet. It draws the right people toward you. It repels negativity and unnecessary drama. Let me emphasize this: peace over pandemonium is not passive resignation. It is active engagement with life through a lens of calm clarity and control. It is not ignoring challenges. It is responding to them effectively. It is not suppressing emotions. It is mastering them for constructive outcomes. It is not avoidance. It is strategic positioning. Those who live in peace are not powerless. They are poised, prepared, and unstoppable. Moreover, peace over pandemonium allows for spiritual and emotional growth. When you refuse to be consumed by external noise, you create space for reflection, for learning, for prayer, for contemplation. You can hear your inner guidance, your intuition, or the wisdom that comes from alignment with a higher purpose. Pandemonium distracts. Peace illuminates, chaos confuses. Peace clarifies. And those who live in peace discover a strength that the loudest voices and the heaviest storms cannot shake. Friends, the choice is yours. Will you let the world drag you into chaos, or will you rise above and hold your peace? Will you react to every provocation, every challenge, every insult? Will you stand firm, calm, and composed, and let your results speak for themselves? Peace is not passive. Peace is power. Peace is momentum. Peace is strength. Peace allows you to think clearly, act decisively, and live purposefully. So I challenge you today: choose peace over pandemonium. Guard your mind. Guard your heart. Guard your energy. Refuse to be distracted by noise. Refuse to be manipulated by chaos. Refuse to compromise your tranquility for temporary drama. When you do, you will discover clarity, focus, resilience, and power beyond measure. You will move through life like a river cutting valleys through mountains, not with chaos, but with consistent, unstoppable, steady strength. Remember this: storms are temporary, chaos is fleeting, and pandemonium is loud, but peace is enduring, powerful, and unstoppable. Choose peace today. Live in peace tomorrow. Watch how your life transforms in ways that words cannot describe and noise cannot interrupt. Friends, listen to me today. In a world full of noise, full of chatter, full of constant opinions and endless debate, there is a power in your presence that no words can match. You can speak all day, convince all around you, and explain yourself to the world. But if your presence is weak, distracted, or inconsistent, your words lose their weight. Presence speaks louder than words, and those who understand this principle live a life of authority, influence, and unstoppable impact. Your presence is the reflection of your inner state. It is the manifestation of your confidence, your discipline, your preparation, and your focus. People can sense when you are distracted, when you are unsure, when you are divided internally. They can feel it in your voice, your body language, your energy. When you cultivate your presence, when you walk with purpose, when you carry yourself with poise and conviction, people notice. You do not have to shout to be heard. You do not have to argue to be respected. Your very presence communicates authority. Consider this: a room can be silent, Yet one person can command it without uttering a single word. One glance, one posture, one calm but confident step can create an influence that words cannot replicate. This is the essence of presence. It is not about arrogance. It is not about showing off. It is about aligning your inner power with your outer expression so that the world feels the impact of your being. Presence speaks louder than words because it is consistent. Words can be empty promises, can be broken, explanations can fail, but presence is undeniable. When you consistently show up prepared, disciplined, and focused, your presence speaks for itself. People learn to rely on you, respect you, follow you, not because of what you say, but because of who you are when you show up. Presence is credibility made visible. Presence is integrity made tangible. Presence is influence made real. Friends, presence also commands attention because it conveys calm authority in chaos. The world is loud. It is chaotic. It is full of people reacting impulsively, speaking out of frustration and broadcasting every emotion. When you maintain your composure, when you carry yourself with dignity and quiet confidence, you stand apart. People notice the difference. People respect the calm in the storm. Presence is not reactive. Presence is intentional. Presence is strategic. Let me tell you something else. Presence is strengthened by preparation. The person who walks into a room with confidence has invested time, effort, and energy into readiness. Presence is the culmination of discipline, growth, and focus. It is the product of showing up, learning, improving, and refining yourself daily. Words may fade, opinions may shift, but presence is the byproduct of consistent preparation. It is permanent, enduring, and respected. Presence speaks louder than words because it communicates your value without explanation. You do not need to justify your abilities, prove your worth, or validate your accomplishments to everyone around you. Your presence conveys it. When you carry yourself with poise, focus, and intention, people intuitively know that you are someone of substance. They feel your credibility, your integrity, and your influence. Whether you say a word or remain silent, presence communicates confidence that cannot be ignored. Moreover, presence is powerful because it creates influence naturally. Leaders, mentors, and visionaries understand this principle. You do not need to dominate conversations or argue to lead effectively. Your energy, your composure, your readiness, and your alignment with purpose are magnetic. Presence draws people toward you, inspires trust, and encourages action. People follow those who are grounded, confident, and intentional. People respect those whose presence commands attention. Let me warn you, presence is not accidental. It does not emerge by chance. It is cultivated through intentional habits, discipline, and focus. It requires self-awareness, emotional control, and clarity of purpose. Those who neglect their inner state, who fail to manage their energy, who react impulsively, weaken their presence. Words alone cannot compensate for a lack of alignment within. To speak powerfully, you must first be present, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Friends, presence also protects your influence. In a world that pressures you to justify, explain, and defend yourself constantly, those who maintain their presence are unshackable. They do not get pulled into every argument. They do not respond to every criticism. They do not chase approval from the crowd. Instead, they stand firm, composed, and consistent. Their presence ensures that when they act or speak, it is impactful. People listen, people follow, people respect. Presence is influence protected by poise and discipline. Presence speaks louder than words because it creates immediate credibility. People may question your resume, doubt your experience, challenge your ideas. But when you enter a room with alignment, confidence, and focus, you are felt before you are heard. The impact of your energy precedes your message. People respond to your being, not just your talking. Presence is a force multiplier. It amplifies your abilities, your ideas, and your authority in ways words cannot. Furthermore, presence encourages authenticity. Words can lie, actions can deceive. Presence cannot be faked for long. When you cultivate your inner strength, emotional control, and clarity of purpose, your presence becomes undeniable. People sense authenticity. They gravitate toward it. They trust it. They follow it. Words may fade or be forgotten, but the impression of a strong, grounded presence remains. Presence builds legacies because it is tangible, enduring, and memorable. Friends, presence speaks louder than words because it communicates confidence without arrogance. You do not have to boast about your achievements. You do not have to announce your plans. You do not have to prove your worth. Presence conveys it. People recognize substance, discipline, mastery when they see it reflected in the way you carry yourself. Presence does not demand attention. It commands respect naturally. So I challenge you today, cultivate your presence, invest in yourself daily, align your mind, heart, and spirit with your purpose. Prepare relentlessly. Maintain your composure in chaos. Focus your energy on growth, discipline, and intentional action. Walk into every room with the confidence that comes from preparation and integrity. Stand firm in your values. Let your presence speak louder than your words, and watch how the world responds. Remember this, words can inspire temporarily, arguments can persuade momentarily, but presence leaves a lasting impact. Presence commands respect, builds influence, protects your energy, and establishes your credibility. Presence is authority made visible. Presence is power made tangible. Presence is the echo of your inner strength, and it is felt long after your words have faded. Friends, make a decision today. Do not rely on words alone. Do not depend on explanations, debates, or defenses to assert your value. Focus on your presence. Strengthen it. Cultivate it. Align yourself internally and externally. Walk into every situation with quiet confidence. Speak less. Do more. Move intentionally, and you will discover that when you master your presence, the world cannot ignore you, and your life will change in ways words could never achieve. There is power in absence. There is authority in silence. There is influence in restraint, and yet too many people misunderstand this principle. They think being present all the time, always reacting, always explaining, always visible is the path to influence. But I tell you the truth, strategic absence is a weapon of the wise. It is the quiet, deliberate decision to step back so that your life, your work, your impact can be felt more powerfully than words ever could. Absence is not weakness. Absence is not avoidance. Absence is intentional positioning. It is the understanding that life moves in seasons, and not every season requires your visibility. Some victories are prepared in the shadows, some results are cultivated in silence, and some breakthroughs are orchestrated while the world is unaware. Strategic absence allows you to conserve energy, sharpen focus, and align your actions with the divine timing of your purpose. Too many people are drained because they are everywhere, doing everything, explaining everything, proving themselves to everyone. They are present in every argument, in every debate, in every distraction, and in the process, they give away their power. But those who understand strategic absence know that stepping away at the right time is just as important as showing up. Sometimes your silence, your withdrawal, and your deliberate distance communicate more than words ever could. Strategic absence protects your peace. The world is full of noise, chaos, and unnecessary conflict. If you are always available, always reacting, always defending, you leave yourself vulnerable to exhaustion, frustration, and distraction. By practicing strategic absence, you preserve your energy for what truly matters. You remove yourself from toxic situations, draining conversations, and endless arguments, and instead you invest your time in growth, preparation, purposeful action. Absence is a shield. Absence is armor. Absence is power preserved. Moreover, strategic absence strengthens your influence. There is a saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder, and it is true in life beyond relationships. When you remove yourself from constant exposure, people begin to notice your value. Your contributions, your skills, your presence, they are felt more deeply when they are not taken for granted. If you are always present, your impact can be diluted. If you are always available, your influence can be assumed. But when you step away strategically, people feel the weight of your absence. They respect it, they admire it, and they begin to understand the true significance of your presence. Strategic absence also allows you to observe and assess. Life is full of patterns, hidden opportunities, and lessons that only reveal themselves when you step back. If you are constantly immersed in the noise, you miss the subtle guidance, the quiet hints, and the strategic openings that emerge from observation. Absence gives you perspective. It allows you to see the bigger picture. It allows you to make decisions that are informed, deliberate, and wise. When you return from strategic absence, your actions carry foresight and authority. It requires courage to step back when everyone expects you to react. It requires patience to wait for the right moment instead of forcing attention. It requires faith that your life, your work, and your vision do not need constant validation. Those who master strategic absence understand that timing is everything. They know that life rewards those who act intentionally rather than impulsively. They know that withdrawal is not retreat, it is preparation for a greater advance. A great leader does not respond to every challenge immediately. Powerful entrepreneur does not disclose every idea the moment it forms. A wise person does not explain their vision to everyone who asks, why? Strategic absence ensures that when they act with full force, full clarity, and full impact. Their presence is felt, their words are heard, their actions are remembered. The world cannot ignore the person who knows when to show up and when to step back. Strategic absence also prevents unnecessary confrontation. Too often we get caught in arguments, conflicts, and drama that drain our energy and distract us from purpose. But those who practice strategic absence recognize that not every battle requires engagement. Some conflicts resolve themselves, some challenges fade over time, some people learn lessons on their own. By stepping back, you allow life to work while you conserve your focus and energy for battles that truly matter. Absence is not avoidance, it is wisdom in action. Truth about strategic absence is that it cultivates desire and anticipation. People begin to notice your value when you are not constantly in their presence. Your skills, your insight, your influence, they are magnified because they are rare. Constant exposure diminishes impact. Strategic absence elevates it. When you are deliberate in your presence, people remember you, respect you, and even seek you out. The world reacts to rarity. Absence creates a sense of importance and significance. When you step away from the distractions of others' opinions, you create space to cultivate your own vision, your own skill set, and your own spiritual, emotional, and mental strength. Life is demanding. Your attention is finite. Strategic absence allows you to prioritize what matters most: your growth, your preparation, your alignment with purpose. While the world is busy reacting, you are busy evolving. While the world is distracted, you are deliberate. While others are chasing attention, you are creating impact. Absence is most powerful when it is intentional and strategic. It is not a retreat out of fear. It is not hiding from responsibility. It is a deliberate, calculated choice to step back so that your return can be powerful, precise, and transformative. The world may not understand it at first. People may question it. They may even challenge it. But those who master strategic absence understand that their life, their destiny, their influence are not defined by constant visibility. They are defined by alignment, preparation, and timing. Step away from the chaos. Step away from the noise. Step away from distractions, unnecessary arguments, and shallow recognition. Invest your energy in preparation, growth, and alignment. Observe, plan, and refine in silence. Return when the moment is right, and watch how your influence magnifies, your decisions resonate. Your presence becomes unforgettable. Absence is not weakness. Silence is not defeat. Stepping back is not failure. Strategic absence is strength. It is authority. It is power under control. It is influence cultivated in the shadows. The world will notice when you reappear. Impact will be undeniable. Master the art of strategic absence. Protect your energy. Guard your focus. Wait for the right season. Step back when necessary and move forward when the time is right. Your life, your purpose, your influence are far too precious to be wasted in constant noise and uncalculated exposure. Step wisely, act deliberately, And let your strategic absence create results, respect, and recognition that words alone could never achieve. Friends, hear me today. There is power in stillness. There is growth in quiet. There is transformation in those moments when the world is moving, screaming, and rushing all around you, but you choose to pause. Too many people underestimate the value of stillness. They confuse activity with progress, business with success, noise with wisdom. But the truth is this: transformation is cultivated in the silence, in the stillness, in the space where you are alone with yourself, your purpose, and your vision. Stillness is not inactivity. Stillness is not laziness. Stillness is intentional reflection, preparation, and alignment. It is the conscious decision to step away from distraction, to pause from reaction, and to listen to the guidance that comes when you are quiet. In stillness, you connect with your inner self. In stillness, clarity emerges. In stillness, transformation begins. A seed lies dormant in the soil. For weeks, it seems like nothing is happening. Rain falls, sun shines, seasons change, and yet all the growth is happening out of sight beneath the surface in stillness. Then one day, a shoot emerges strong and purposeful. This is the same principle for your life. Transformation often happens behind the scenes, in the quiet preparation, in the unseen discipline, in the moments when you are still and intentional. Stillness allows you to hear yourself clearly. In the noise of the world, it is easy to lose your voice, your direction, your purpose. Opinions of others, the pressures of society, the constant bombardment of information, all of it can drown out your clarity. But when you embrace stillness, you create space to listen to your intuition, to your values, and to the calling within you. This is where true transformation begins. Not when the world is guiding you, but when you guide yourself. Transformation in stillness also nurtures wisdom and discernment. The world rewards impulsive action, yes, but it elevates intentional action. When you pause, reflect, and evaluate, you see patterns others miss. You anticipate challenges before they arise. You recognize opportunities that are invisible to those who are rushing. Stillness is the laboratory of insight, the workshop of strategy, crucible where vision is refined and clarified. Those who master stillness act decisively because they have observed, prepared, and aligned themselves with purpose. Stillness is also a discipline of patience. In a culture obsessed with instant gratification, we want results now. Breakthroughs now, recognition now. But transformation is a process, not an event. Just as a river carves a canyon over centuries, your transformation unfolds gradually, quietly, and persistently. Stillness teaches patience. Stillness teaches endurance. Stillness teaches that the journey is as important as the destination, and that preparation is just as valuable as the outcome. When you rush from one distraction to another, one argument to the next, one obligation to the next, your energy is fragmented. Your attention is scattered. Your influence diminishes. But when you embrace stillness, you conserve your energy, focus your mind, and sharpen your vision. You begin to act from a place of power, not reaction. You begin to invest in what truly matters, not what merely demands attention. Stillness preserves your resources so that when action is required, it is deliberate, potent, and unstoppable. Transformation and stillness also deepens self-awareness. How can you grow if you do not understand yourself? How can you evolve if you do not confront your fears, your limitations, and your patterns? Stillness is the mirror of the soul. It is the quiet space where you ask hard questions, acknowledge difficult truths, and confront what has been hiding in the corners of your mind. Growth without self-awareness is shallow. Transformation without reflection is temporary. Stillness allows your change to be profound, enduring, and authentic. Stillness teaches discipline and restraint. It is in quiet moments that you train yourself not to react impulsively. It is in reflection that you learn to resist temptation, to delay gratification, to choose integrity over convenience. The person who cannot be still is often controlled by emotion, distraction, and the pressures of the world. The person who masters stillness is in control of themselves and therefore in control of their destiny. Discipline in stillness becomes momentum in action. Transformation in stillness also connects you to higher guidance. Whether you believe in God, the universe, or your own inner wisdom, quiet reflection allows you to hear what is normally drowned out by noise. The answers, the solutions, the ideas, courage you need often come not in the chaos but in the pause. prayer, meditation, contemplation. These are tools of transformation because they create space for insight, clarity, and vision to emerge. In stillness, you align with a higher purpose. In stillness, you gain direction. In stillness, you transform. Life will challenge you. Life will test you. Life will push, pull, and shake you. But the person who cultivates transformation in stillness develops an inner fortress. When storms come, they do not crumble because they have trained themselves to remain steady internally even when the external world is turbulent. Stillness is the practice ground for enduring strength, for calm in crisis, for peace amidst pressure. Transformation in stillness prepares you to withstand what others cannot. Moreover, stillness fosters clarity of purpose. When the world is shouting at you to act, to react, to chase every opportunity, you must resist the temptation to move without alignment. Stillness allows you to focus on your true goals, your deepest calling, and your ultimate vision. It helps you distinguish between what is urgent and what is important, between what is temporary and what is eternal, between what distracts and what transforms. Transformation begins when focus aligns with purpose, and stillness is where that alignment is cultivated. Friends, transformation in stillness is not always easy. The world will accuse you of laziness. People will question why you are quiet, why you are observing, why you are not reacting immediately. But remember this, the greatest transformations in history were nurtured in the shadows, developed in preparation, revealed when the time was right. Stillness is not absence of action, it is preparation for action. Stillness is not retreat, it is strategy. Stillness is not weakness, it is strength refined. Embrace stillness. Step back from the noise, pause from the chaos, reflect on your journey. Listen to your inner voice. Align yourself with your purpose. Prepare, refine, and grow quietly, even when the world demands that you move, that you act, that you speak. Transformation in stillness is subtle, unseen, and often underestimated, but its power is undeniable. It shapes your character, strengthens your resolve, and positions you to move with impact, authority, and lasting influence. Growth does not always happen in motion. Breakthroughs do not always arrive in loud announcements. Miracles often unfold in the quiet, unseen, and unexpected moments. Transformation in stillness is where your foundation is fortified, your mind sharpened, and your spirit strengthened. Stillness is not silence without purpose. Stillness is not waiting without action. Stillness is preparation, alignment, and cultivation. Embrace it and watch how your life, your influence, your destiny transform in ways you could never have imagined. The world does not respond to promises. The world does not bow to intentions. The world does not notice what you say, what you plan, or what you dream unless you produce results. Results command attention. Results speak louder than words, louder than explanations, louder than excuses. The person who delivers consistently, who achieves steadily, who produces outcomes that matter. This is the person the world cannot ignore. Too often, people believe visibility is power. They think talking, announcing, explaining will make them respected. They think posting, presenting, or proclaiming will convince others of their worth. But the truth is, words without action are empty. Promises without performance are meaningless. Intentions without results are invisible. The world recognizes only what is accomplished. The world honors only what is proven. The world follows only what works. Results command attention because they are undeniable. You can claim, explain, justify, or argue, but results are tangible, measurable, and visible. Well-executed plan, a completed project, a realized vision. These do not need justification. They do not require persuasion. They speak for themselves. Results are proof that you are capable. Results are evidence that your vision matters. Results are authority in action. People may listen to words, they follow action. Leaders, mentors, and pioneers understand this principle. It is not enough to speak eloquently, to dream vividly, to strategize cleverly. You must act, you must execute, you must deliver. When results are produced, people pay attention. Doors open that were previously closed. Opportunities emerge that were previously hidden. Recognition is earned, not requested. Respect is commanded, not begged. Farmer may talk endlessly about the harvest he wants, but until the seeds are planted, nurtured, and grown, there will be no crops. A student may promise excellence, but until the studying, practicing, and effort are applied, no grades will reflect that promise. Business owner may announce innovation, but until products are developed, markets reached, and revenue generated, nothing validates the claim. Results are the only language that the world understands, the only proof that your potential is real. Results command attention because they cut through noise. In a world filled with chatter, distraction, and overexposure, people are bombarded with words, opinions, and ideas. But results rise above all of it. Results are magnetic. Results attract influence. Results build credibility. People respect what works. People follow what is proven. Words can be forgotten. Results endure. Words can be dismissed, but results cannot be denied. Moreover, results demand accountability. First to yourself. Every result reflects the commitment, discipline, and effort you invested. They reveal whether you stayed consistent when no one was watching, whether you prioritized what mattered, and whether you honored your own commitments. Results are not only noticed by others, they are a mirror of your integrity and your character. When you consistently produce, you demonstrate mastery over yourself, over your circumstances, and over your life. There will always be doubters, skeptics, and naysayers. There will always be those who question your ability, your plans, and your worth. But results leave no room for debate. Results validate your efforts. Results affirm your competence. Results make it clear that your actions are intentional, effective, and impactful. When you produce outcomes consistently, the noise of doubt fades and respect replaces skepticism. Results amplify your influence. When you deliver consistently, others notice. When your work produces tangible impact, people listen to your ideas, follow your lead, and seek your counsel. Results are like gravity, they draw attention, create momentum, and establish authority. The world responds to what is accomplished. Influence follows execution. Leadership follows achievement. Recognition follows performance. Results are the bridge between vision and impact. Producing results also builds confidence. When you see the outcomes of your effort, you gain assurance in your ability, clarity in your strategy, and courage for the next challenge. Momentum is created as each success builds on the last, creating a cycle of achievement that propels you forward. The person who produces results knows their worth. They trust their process. They embrace responsibility. They command attention because they are proven capable, relentless. They speak louder than words ever could. You may attempt to explain, justify, or persuade, but results say it all. I followed through. Delivered. I succeeded. Results convey credibility without needing argument. They broadcast competence without needing promotion. They demonstrate mastery without needing validation. Results are a universal language of success that everyone understands. Results require discipline, focus, and intentionality. They are not accidental. They do not happen by wishful thinking, by talent alone, or by luck. Results are born from consistent effort, deliberate planning, and unwavering persistence. Small, steady actions compounded over time lead to outcomes that command attention. If you desire influence, respect, and recognition, you must be willing to do the work that produces results, even when it is hard, unseen, or inconvenient. Results command attention because they inspire others. People are drawn to success. People emulate achievement. People are motivated by outcomes, not promises. When you produce consistently, you become a beacon of possibility. You show others what is achievable. You create credibility for your vision and authority for your purpose. Results turn observers into believers, followers, and supporters. Words may motivate temporarily, promises may encourage momentarily, and explanations may attempt to justify. But results leave a permanent mark, cannot be ignored. Results cannot be denied. Results demand respect. Results establish authority. Results build influence. Results position you as someone who matters in a world filled with talkers but few doers. Focus less on talking, less on explaining, less on seeking approval. Focus on doing, executing, delivering, and producing. Let your work, your progress, and your achievements speak on your behalf. Build a track record that cannot be questioned, a record of results that leaves no room for doubt, and a life of impact that draws attention naturally and powerfully. Friends, results command attention, and attention creates opportunity. When you produce consistently, you are noticed, respected, and sought after. Your vision becomes tangible, your influence becomes real, and your life becomes a testimony of discipline, focus, and mastery. Results are the ultimate amplifier of your value, your credibility, and your authority.